LaLiga Santander League restarted playing football again on June the 11th and increased its international viewing figures by more than 48% on the first match day. In Africa, there was a rise of over 73%, and South Africa, the increase amounted to more than 210%. Now, joining me to talk a bit about these figures and what's happening in the game at the moment is Pelegrin, the Managing Director of LaLiga South Africa. Thank you very much for joining me on this. But let me just nail my colours to the mast at the beginning. I saw my first football match more than half a century ago with my father and my grandfather. I'm a football man. I watched my team play a local derby on Saturday, and I'll be honest with you, because there's no crowds in the stadium, I almost went to sleep. I mean, how are you going to get over the fact that it's all played behind closed doors? And how long do you think it's going to go on for?
And obviously it's difficult. First of all, thank you very much, Chris, for having me today. It's a pleasure to be here. Obviously, it's difficult and not the same to not to have the fans in the stadiums. Because they are an essential part of football. But we've been working in some technological solutions in order to reduce the impact that we have on broadcasting. For example, we'll be having virtual stands. We've been working with EA Sports to implement the technology that we can see on the FIFA 20 video game. And also through virtual audio, we'll be able to listen to real fans on the broadcasting.
And this sort of figures, you're saying that there's been an increase of 120% here in South Africa alone. I mean, what does that translate into people who are sitting down on a Saturday to watch La Liga?
So means that the interest on the competition is rocketing. We're very happy with those figures, and I think there's a lot of factors that are involved. Obviously, it's I think two sides works along with our broadcasters, Super Sports, how they treat the product, etc. I think is the fruit of a long-term strategy from our audiovisual department, and also obviously all the activities that La Liga is been working in the country and also in the continent for the past years.
And also, though, in Africa, football is very much a group activity. I mean, I've reported up and down this continent, on a Saturday, you'll see hundreds upon hundreds of people gathering in bars and restaurants to watch the game. Isn't that going to be a problem now with COVID-19 and the fact that this social distancing, isn't it going to affect your viewing market out there?
I think it's going to change, at least for some time, how do we consume football. But I think football is about passion and love for the game. And I think not COVID, nothing can change that at the end. So maybe we won't be able to gather in bars, restaurants, or pubs, to watch a game. Obviously, not at all to go to attend stadiums. But since the passion is still there and the love, and Africa loves football. So I think we can foresee like how people consume football will change for some time, but since, as I said, like this continent really loves football and the passion is still there, I think we won't be very damaged about this.
And just one last quick question. I see that in coming back, you're making news as well, breaking an 81-year-old record last night. A 15-year-old made his debut for Mallorca in the league. Again, how does that translate to your business and your viewing figures when you get stories like this coming?
Oh, obviously, it's you can identify in some markets like this kid is Mexican born, but he was playing for the under national team in Argentina. So I think we will be able to identify how these audiences in these countries will rocket a little bit. So in my personal professional area, I will be delighted to see more African young players coming to La Liga, because I think it's a perfect platform for them, and also will be very useful for La Liga in terms of growing the league itself.